Maybe you've been seeing different articles or memes with this headline. And of course, even liberals are thinking, who would fight against, laws against child abuse? Well, because you're all too lazy, I did the work for you. Yes, yes, yes. The Trump administration is, in fact, fighting a law that would require priests to report child abuse. The bill would mandate that state clergy have to report child abuse in the church. The law was created to end hidden cycles of abuse, you know, Catholic Church and all. The argument against it, because this is important to know, is about it being the confessional. And on that subject, because I love this headline, clergy were explicitly singled out. Trump administration and the Catholic priests secure victory against child abuse reporting law. They were singled out. But when I think about it, the whole confessional thing, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a real religious guy, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure the whole confessional thing, that whole setup is, the Catholic Church. So if you feel singled out, maybe it's because you have a mechanism which allows people to talk about their crimes to a priest who listens to them talk about their crimes, and then those people get off by God because he's like, nah, it's cool. You confess to molesting little children, so that's totally fine. And little priest over here should not be required to actually tell law enforcement. So that's their argument. I really was trying to think, how am I going to talk about this as a survivor? And I thought, you know what, just use your own life as an example. So my abuser was a daycare provider that was state sanctioned, as in she had a license and was allowed to do it. And so the argument would be, well, I'm a daycare provider, and you couldn't possibly ask me as a daycare provider to report children being abused because it's an at-home daycare, and so it's in my home, and so I should have the right to decide what gets reported or doesn't. That's essentially what the Catholic Church and now the Trump administration is arguing, is that abuse is secondary, and that the freedom, religious freedom, or the ability to commit crimes without repercussions, that's first, but the actual child abuse is second. And my question for everybody watching this video and existing on the planet is, are you actually trying to solve the problem of abuse, specifically of our children, or are you doing something else? And if you are of the right, like all the maggots who are like obsessed over child molesters, if you really want that to come to an end, then why would you advocate and/or advocate people who advocate removing protections of said children, unless in fact that is some projection or just a box that you check to say like, oh, we hate those child molesters, but in fact don't. To me, there is no other explanation. And again, as a survivor, why would we ever advocate for less transparency? What is the fear in allowing for transparency? And if you cannot answer that question, it's time to have a think. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.